Hey, what's up? It's Ajax from Fresh 1200s, and today we're going to be changing the power cable on this 1200 using one of our power cable kits. So let's get started. First step, we're going to pop out this panel. You can tell this thing's really dirty, so this thing's getting a full overhaul after, but let's just do this for now. And the bottom's already been taken apart because we did the RCA cables before. And so now we're just doing it from the top side. But for just the power cable, you actually only need to pop off the plastic cover underneath the platter. You don't even have to open it from the bottom. So this is the area that we're going to be working on right now. I'll be using a little flux paste on here, but it's actually not necessary. I just prefer to make the desoldering job a little cleaner. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You actually, like if you really wanted to, you could, like if you wanted to be lazy, you can cut right here, splice these, and then, like remove the insulation and splice the new cable onto here. But today I'm going to be going straight to the actual posts, desoldering everything, and putting the new cable on there. So we've got some desoldering braid. And if you have one of those solder sucker things, you can use that too. I personally don't like to use those, but they are effective. And we get to work. So the first step is going to be, now the way this is this is kind of like a little terminal post, and the cable gets wrapped around it. So the first step is just to remove like the excess solder, and then kind of pull it away. All right, it's still getting hot. You see some of the solder coming off now. This one doesn't have as big of a glob as the previous one I did, but still we're going to get off like whatever we can. And this stuff does get hot, so be really careful with your fingers on here. But I think that might almost be enough removal. And then we can get on to the next step. All right, we're gonna, so these wires right here are like really, really hot. Give it a few seconds to cool off. What we're gonna try to do is get the leftover solder residue hot enough that we can kind of undo the cable that's wrapped around this little terminal post. And again, this gets really hot, so just be extremely careful. And your iron is going to be needing a little bit of a cleaning if you get any of that insulation residue on there. But boom, nice and clean. The post has no solder on it. It's basically like you're almost untying the solder, but you're fighting against the heat and it being wrapped around like that. And boom, both of them are nice and clean. Now the factory cable comes with this little plastic cover that wraps around over here. That's just to kind of give some extra protection when it's wrapping around the power transformer. So we're gonna remove the plastic cover and reuse it. But we're gonna snip this little piece off real quick so it doesn't get in the way. And we're gonna pull out our fresh 1200s power cable kit. And we're gonna slide this thing on there real quick. Like this repair is not too technical. You basically remove the solder, remove the wire, pop this new one on, and then solder it back into place. These internal screws, I don't like to use a drill or anything. You can if you want, but just make sure you don't torque it too hard. So this is going to wrap around over here. Now just got to strip some of this insulation off. So you want to strip it just enough to wrap around there, and then you can solder it together. So when I sell you these kits, I actually just pre-strip them for you. But if you like are uncomfortable or whatever, you can choose to strip it further. Twist it up. So you just want to wrap the wire around that little post to secure it, and then you're going to solder it into place. And it's done. And you just kind of tuck this into place, put the plastic cover over, and test it out. And it works. All right, you guys, and that was the power cable repair from the Fresh 1200's replacement kit. Thanks for watching.